live on YouTube. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. High stakes heads up, the grudge match of the century. Let's set the table here, man. We're off and going 200, 400. And Kaki, we also have some strong opinions about what's going to go down here today. Set the stage for us, my friend. What do you think we are going to see?
Man, I'll tell you what I don't want to see is any of the upswing fucking coverage of this match, bro. I was in there for about 2 minutes and that was just atrocious.
Well,
the chat wasn't loving it.
The one thing is they got there on time. We did not get here on time, man. We're figuring out some technical difficulties.
I did a bankroll challenge where I was in a downswing for 2 months. That felt great to show up to Twitch chat every day. It was epic. Anyway, on the right-hand table, Doug is betting a little less than $3,000 into a $4,200 pot. The straight comes in on the river. So Doug is going to be able to bet some 2 pairs here, but he doesn't get to play a lot of overbets, I don't think. Just ends up having a bluff, gets called down by 1 pair by Daniel. Daniel's been playing very passively from what I've seen with his like top parry type stuff, top pair bad kicker. And that is one way to kind of regulate your hand classes.
This is fun, man. And again, this is there's a marathon and there's a sprint. This match really seems like a marathon. We got a long ways to go. I mean, we played 200 hands the other day. Let's do some math. Yep. 200 divided by 24,800.
Daniel started out sprinting.
Daniel started out sprinting.
He's going to be slowing down soon, I'll tell you that, man.
Is he going to be gasping for air, looking for the water station a mile in here?
I think he beat Doug over the first 100 meters, and they're doing, the full 26 miles, man. So
I gotta say, I have booked some action on this match, and with my heart and with my pocketbook, I have about $700 of action on the poker legend Daniel Negreanu. And as soon as I booked that action, I had about 6 poker sharks slide in my DMs and looking for more, okay? Some of the sharpest bettors I know sent me a DM looking for more action, so I feel like I got the worst of it. 7K bet from Doug on the right.
So Dnegs, 3-bet and C-bet, and Doug Peelden is betting third, I assume. Setting up a, 80% SPR?
Oh, check raise, snap call, 2 pair. Oh, wow.
Random flush draw.
Massive
single
pot.
Over against bottom 2.
Daniel check shoved the overcard flush draw, snapped by 2 pair. The equity did not get there. Huge pot for Doug. Oh my goodness, huge pot for Doug there. Daniel snap reloads, of course. What do you think about the check shove there on the turn with the overcard flush draw?
Probably quite bad. Just a standard turn barrel, honestly. We guessed right. It's 100% turn bet. Of the 3 sizes we offered, third pot, half pot, 75% pot, we're betting 75% pot 100% of the time. And we are committing ourselves. Against Gem, we have the odds to call. And yeah, feels bad, but that's the line we're supposed to take.
So far, I mean, we're in the infancy here. What are you seeing, Kaki? Advantage who? Who's playing better?
I mean, I don't even have to look to have this opinion, but Doug is going to be playing better. The question is simply, is it 4-1? Is it 5-1? Is it whatever to 1 better? That's what we're really wondering. Even like if you ask Daniel, he was saying he thinks the line's something like 4-1, and he thinks he's actually better than 4-1. So if Daniel wants to hit me up with like a nice little bet, then I'd probably take it.
Oh, river check raise from Doug.
No, it was just after a check back turn, Daniel bet the river for value and Doug made a value raise.
That's right.
Dnegs didn't even consider 3-betting the river, which is probably a mistake. It probably is a value raise. Because his opponent can have a lot of 5x flushes that are weaker than his flush, and his opponent can be value raising a 7, and like his opponent might have to bluff catch when he's raised a 7 for value and has a spade in his hand, for example. He might have to bluff catch that. His opponent probably can't fold any flushes to a 3-bet as well. Yeah, so it's a bit wrong there. Our opponent is actually supposed to fold some flushes to a re-raise, but he is also raise calling like the 6-7 offsuit with the 6 of spades and some other similar hands to that. And he's not folding 9 high flushes at all. He is folding every time with the 8-5 of spades, which is a little stronger than I expected. However, I wasn't totally wrong with that guess because we are supposed to re-raise the river every single time with this Jack-2 of spades. A little bit over 90% of the time, re-raising 2/3 pot, and we're even jamming almost 7% of the time. Shout out to the two dudes in the chat saying they love the replays. Sorry, boys.
Yeah,
You're
I know.
probably trolling.
I felt them, man. I know there were some people in the chat that were big fans of the replay, man. And we just shut down their dreams like that. I know it wasn't unanimous. You know, they're outliers, but it hurt their soul a little bit to take away the replay. Big river spot here on the left. Daniel in position. Daniel has checked back some rivers and given a couple pots to Polk. Here's a big bet. Big sizing and called. Ooh, got caught bluffing. Doug Polk, river, 2 pair, check called. Really interesting hand there. Wow.
That's probably a close one. Like having the queen of spades is not helping Daniel when he chooses to bluff river. However, the 5 is still a pretty reasonable card. Although it is the 5 of diamonds, so his opponent's going to have more floats that are weak that contain a 5 of diamonds. So I'd say overall it might have been a bad hand to bluff, but I'm not good enough a heads up to know that for sure. He's definitely thinking and using some okay future blockers for the turn bet, but on river, it's a complicated decision and it might be a good hand to give up.
Yeah, this is one of those spots where you look at the sim and you just keep looking at it and you still don't really get it. At least I don't get it. But yeah, we were right in that the Queen of Spades combos, which almost always pure barreling, like taking the same line up until the river, these are giving up. The Queen of Spades, 5 of clubs, giving up every time. Queen of Spades, 5 of hearts, giving up every time. Queen of Spades, 5 of diamonds, though, 55% barrel, 43% give up. So yeah, there's something about the 5 of diamonds that I don't quite understand. In any event, it was a fine play by Daniel. But if you were to summarize this information, you're barreling every Queen 5 off that doesn't contain the Queen of Spades. I would say you're probably better off giving up the Queen 5 off that does have the Queen of Spades. But he does find the correct combo with the Queen of Spades to be bluffing. So could have been a good one.
Okay, massive pot on the left. Daniel raises button. Doug 3 bets. Bet goes in the flop. 3 8s. We've seen this turn size from Polk quite a few times in these 3-bet pots. Oh, massive pot. One of our biggest of the day here. 45K in the river.
What do you think is going to happen, Kev?
I think it's a shove. I don't know if it's shove call. I think Polk's going all in here. I got the sense. There it is. There's the shove. Daniel snaps with quads. He does not snap. Oh, he calls river 9. Ayah. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And the double sit out.
Oh, no. And the double sit out. Timeout called. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He may need a new monitor, boys.
Uh-oh, I might need a timeout, man. I'm rattled, man. I'm super rattled right now. He was up 100K yesterday. It's all gone and more, man. It's all gone and more.
I have a feeling that Daniel thought he had quads in that hand, and he, unlike us, was not using the 4-color deck. I think that that'll be one of the things we discuss, and my prediction, Kevin, if you want to lay me odds, I would probably take this bet, is that he thought he had quads. Anyway, you ever think about that one?
We'll talk line here in a bit, man. We did want to talk about one hand specifically, the 9-7 hand.
Which one?
There was a couple 9-7 hands that you had today. The big one though, where he ended up he had aces and the board was 8-8-8.
Oh, you saw my hand?
You peeled turn.
Yeah, but how did you guys see my hand?
Sometimes, I don't know why, sometimes it shows both showdown, sometimes it doesn't.
Man, I didn't want nobody seeing that crap. I was going to pretend I had kings.
We did.
Anyway.
Oh dear.
We did.
I put you on misclicking the turn personally, so you had me fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wanted to ask about the turn peel in position here versus the big size. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I obviously had shenanigans in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't calling with 9 high to be like, cool, I have 9 high. Let's just, see if that's good. I had some shenanigans. Like if you remember the board,
Yeah, you
specifically,
7-9 of clubs blocking 7-8 and 8-9 suited.
Yeah, and I had 7-9 of clubs, and there was 3 8s on board, and there was 1 8 missing, and it was the 8 of clubs, and I thought, why not? Let's give this one a shot.
It's an interesting peel, yeah. Obviously,
Well-
you can't fold river.
Well, no, yeah. Once I hit the river, I basically now have pretty close to top of my range in that spot. But I was thinking about maybe whether or not I could bluff this one on the river if he checked and gave up.
My favorite hand of the session, easily. Firstly, Doug bets pocket aces on the turn, which is just never a thing. However, I think Doug is good at making exploits on his opponents and trying out strategies that they might punt against. And against a guy like Daniel, who seems to be checking a lot, betting your aces, maybe even every time, might actually be quite a good play. It certainly was a good read if he read his opponent for peeling wide, because Daniel peeled as wide as you really can. However, I did ask a top heads-up player, what does he think of this line? And he said it probably finds some frequency, but he personally wouldn't do it, at least at this stack depth. And he was correct. It is a 5% turn peel. So who knows how often Daniel was actually calling it. But legit play, 5% turn peel, obviously unfoldable river. Interesting hand. Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, 2 massive 5-figure pots. Big turn bet on the right. On the right, Doug 3-bet pre. Bet the flop small. Big bets the turn.
What do you think's going to happen here, Kev?
Wow, I think Daniel has a king, man. On the right, I think he has like king, jack, king, queen. That's just the sense I'm getting here. Oh, never mind. The river's a king. That is no longer that plausible. Interesting river.
Wow. The
Check,
duck.
check.
Truck.
Yeah, I forgot to include my stream comments about this, but to summarize, I basically said that I thought it was an exploitative give up by Doug. Turns out that's not true. The 3-2 combos that block the ace alone are giving up half the time. The 3-2 hearts that blocks the ace and the king is giving up 45% of the time. But yeah, they're all giving up some amount, which is surprising to me. So who knows what Doug rolled? Probably a good play by him. And what do we think of Daniel's line? The check back with the ace jack suited. Well, it's actually also checking back like a reasonable amount, 35% of the time. And in terms of sizing, it's never jamming. It's like thirding only. Yeah. It's pretty hard to get value out of your opponent here. I think the information, especially at the start of a heads-up match, I don't mind that he checks his back like 100% of the time. So an interesting hand, well played by both, actually.
I have to ask you one question, though, Daniel, before we let you go, man. What up with the live thing, dude? You guys are way too friendly, man.
Listen,
I wanted to see some animosity.
I know.
What's with that?
I
Like, two guys
was
talking
ready.
online, and then it comes to live, and your friends, you're talking about COVID, and everyone's having a good time.
Listen, I was going to go with whatever, the flow was. Listen, we've had a long history, right? Where he has, he'll admittedly, attacked me probably unfairly. I think that's fair to say. And I think, if you ask him, he would say the same. But like, I don't know, bygones be bygones. I don't, I'm not going over to his house on Sunday to watch football. But I felt like, on the biggest stage for poker, well, that's with what's going on right now. Like, what do people want to tune in and see? 2 children petulantly.
That's exactly what they want to see, bro.
I did have some gags that I didn't pull through on. I was going to on the live, and I told him this, I was going to have some charts in my pocket. And
That's amazing.
if I stacked them, I was going to throw them to him and be like, here, maybe these will help.